we don't turn our backs on a customer when they order beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's for two reasons. One, I think it's a poor customer experience. And two, I think it's just inefficient. It's like wasted movement that we don't want to have to do, especially when it's busy.
Budget is a big thing. So it's like, how far are we going with making this the greatest brewery ever, with the greatest finishes ever, versus what do you see, what I'm going to talk, like what do you see in the space that feels good to you to put money in?
But I think we can achieve a compelling space to be in with inexpensive finishes. Paint.
Yes.
Like I don't want to buy cheap stuff. I want to buy things that are durable, that will last.
I wouldn't mind having something that helps bring that scale down right above the bar. See them up there. And that's a great way.
And it could just be like the whole same bookshelf look.
Sure.
And we could decorate it for Christmas, and then
sure.
Like clutter is like very stressful to me. And I would like for this to like just be clean. The space needs to make it easy for us to take care of people.
I think HVAC's one we need to get 3 prices for, like for sure. Especially with a commercial kitchen, like there's a ton of detail on that venting.
Yeah. The sooner we're open, the sooner we get revenue coming in.
Right.
So I don't want to. I want to make sure we strike a good balance between cost and speed. And if like
we'll get quotes on this wood siding for the front entryway. If we do like tongue and groove cedar, it's just gonna fade.
Yeah, I don't.
But we'll compare prices to see what the best is. So mechanicals, plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical. It'll be on us to get 3 quotes for that. Venting's HVAC. So we'll get quotes for that. What was the original budget we were going into this with? So like one, yeah.
Yeah.
I would be prepared for much more than that.
Yep.
When we were going through all of the drawings and talking about the scope and talking about the potential cost of things, it felt like the vision was getting farther and farther and farther away. We had gone out and raised money based on the information that we had, what it was going to cost to build a space, and it seemed pretty clear that that fundraising was going to be insufficient. And the pricing, everybody came back $1 million over what we expected it to be. We're kind of looking at the overall business from a 30,000 foot view and realizing like, look, this taproom thing, it's going to take much longer than the plan. And so we need to reinvest in other areas of the business to help those areas grow faster.
I didn't realize you were going to be pouring.
Yes.
I thought you were just like, you know, helping out. And then I saw your name on schedule. I was like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, we gotta, we gotta teach these newbies, how it goes. I just want to say I'm really excited that you are all here, and thank you very much for coming on board this crazy adventure. I actually joined 2 years ago pouring beer, and
Yeah, look where I am now.
And so, same place. Normally, in a 16-ounce cup, it's filled with seltzer and then 3 squirts of syrup.
I think there was one day in the fall we had 4 separate events running simultaneously. And so we just kind of invested in ourselves and our ability to get out there and sell beer to people.
Okay, I got another shrimp coming in a minute.
We hired a director of sales, right, to go out and really implement a sales strategy that would help us have more distribution coverage, because that distribution coverage is a lot more stable than events.
I've been in the beer industry for just over 20 years. Worked every side from retail to distributor to a bunch of other craft breweries, both large and small. I think the beer industry has been going through some tumultuous times over the last 10, 15 years, and I think it really starts with building a strong community in your backyard. I was really shocked coming to one of their events, how involved they are, and how much people love them.
Oh, so we had the meeting with all of the builders who had quoted the project, and they were all $1 million too high. We interviewed all of them and we asked them a lot of questions about why. And coming out of those interviews, we felt like Chapman was the best choice. They had the most brewery experience. They were the biggest firm. They're very professional. They have done projects like this in the past. They were confident that working together, we could hit the budget numbers that we needed to hit. Fall, we had one meeting where we all sat around the table and reviewed a laundry list of ways to cut money. So the target was to cut $1 million, and after 2 hours of haggling and hand wringing and not feeling great about it, we arrived at cutting about $750,000.
It's really light, really crisp, refreshing. There you go.
I understand you're opening a place?
Yeah, we're going to be opening up on Ryder Street in 2026.
It's refreshing.
It's going to have a bar, it's going to have a restaurant, it's going to be really, really good. Yeah, we're
really,
super excited.
I happened to bump into your landlord, and they said they can't wait for you.
So yeah, it's going to be a full brewery. It's also going to have a restaurant with it. So we'll have a bunch of food and all kinds of good stuff, and we'll have music, and yeah, it'll be great.
And when do you think your actual ETA opening?
I'm waiting for you to open.
Do you have a place? When are you going to open?
So, but we want it as bad as you guys do, believe me.
Can we get a hand? Can we get a...
What are we going to say?
End of 2025 was a little bit of a tough time. We knew that we were going to have to go back in front of the ARB at that point because of the redesigns that we had done. Going through that process is not necessarily fun. There's costs involved. The ARB is really busy. We had to wait 2 months just before we could get to the hearing. And so that was just another extension of the timeline. And at that point, I'm just sick and tired of delaying things. Like, I really want to move, and it felt like we're stuck in the mud.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I tasted it this morning. It's only been dry hop for less than 24 hours. It's fabulous. This is at 8:30 in the morning, so your taste buds are completely alive at that point. You haven't deadened them with coffee or whatever else you had at lunch, and it was fantastic.